Hey guys, Tim Strombel here at the World Cannabis Congress and Business Expo right here in LA. This gentleman right here has been speaking all week. I mean, you're a busy guy. Took a couple of minutes for us. Troy Dayton of the ArcView group. First of all, thanks for being with us today, Troy. How you doing? How are you enjoying the expo?
I'm doing great. I'm having a great time.
Absolutely. Can you talk a little bit about the investment side first off? And I want to make sure we hit that because this is an educational piece for our people. Yeah. What do you really look for in an investment pitch that gets you excited as an investor?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is if the market that they're going for, the size of the market that they're going for a particular solution is big enough to give a 10x or a 20x or a 50x to an investor. A lot of people, I think, go out there and they say, oh, well, I want to raise money, but the only realistic amount that they could sell of something is, twice of what they're selling at present, right? So that probably be the biggest thing. And then the other thing is, investors ultimately invest in people. Because most things that, particularly at early stage when an investor invests, that business is going to change a lot as they get feedback from customers, as they see how the marketplace changes. So investors are ultimately investing in people and in how they think. And so developing a lot of trust and really impressing people with how you think is almost more important in some respects than the business that you're working on.
And you obviously always have to consider numbers. So one of my favorite questions to ask is when you're hearing a pitch, do you want the numbers at the beginning, the middle, or the end? How do you feel about that?
Well, it depends. We have over 500 members, investor members of our group, and every one of them has a different opinion about what should be in a pitch. But there are some things that are consistent. That one is not. I know some people want the numbers first, some people want them last. I think there's lower hanging fruit in terms of organizing a pitch. One thing I would say is do not have 30 slides. You get people up there, a 10-minute pitch and have 50 slides. You're not going to get through them. It's going to look bad. I would say, the one slide that people almost always leave off or misrepresent when it comes up is the competition one. You got to have a slide about your competition. And you got to be real about what that really, really is. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people could do a better job on. But it's always hard to talk about your competition and also to not bash your competition too. And that's often the challenge as well, because people feel very strongly about their thing. And then here's one pet peeve I have. Don't say you're the leading anything if you haven't launched it yet.
That's like the phrase pre-revenue.
Right.
That's code for we're not making any money yet. Now you guys have some big events upcoming. What can you tell us about them? Can you share some of that?
Yeah, so we've got an event coming up in Los Angeles on September 29th and 30th. And it's a members-only event, so hundreds of companies have vied for the few pitch slots. We're going to have over just about a dozen companies that have applied and pitched and done a webinar and have been selected to pitch from stage, plus our investor members, who are all high net worth accredited investors, as well as some sponsors and some big media outlets as well that'll be there as well. And so that's coming up. We're all full on the companies for pitching, but we still have room for investors. And for companies that are interested in possibly pitching investors, we're currently working on the applications for our Vegas event, which will be November 9th and 10th in Vegas, right before the big MJ Business Daily Conference. So people that are looking to pitch can apply for that event coming up.
Now, Troy, you've really put some information together about what these investments and investors have really done afterwards. Can you share some of that with us?
Yeah, so we just took a look at the stats, and what we found was that in the last 2.5 years, basically, there's been over $51 million invested into 77 companies. So our 500 high net worth accredited investors have put over 51 million behind 77 companies. And about 40% of the companies that have pitched from our stage have raised capital or reported to us that they've raised capital. And the average raise has been about $690,000.
Wow.
Now, many of those companies have pitched more than once. So they came as a selected company and then came back as a sponsor, or there's different ways that people have done it. But we're really, really happy with those numbers. I think we've really made a big difference, and not more our members and our the companies are getting better, and the investor members are starting to write checks, which is a really nice thing, because of that 51 million, over 35 of that has just been this year.
Yeah. Wow.
So, that shows you what's changed about the cannabis industry in a very short time.
Troy Dayton, CEO, co-founder of the ArcView Group. Thank you so much for taking some time. Check out more great interviews just like this on cashandbiz.com.